No regrets, Green. Patel hoped to lead Myrtle Beach tennis to championship redemption. Spencer Green and Ashiv Patel can finish each other's sentences. The duo is the pace-setting heartbeat of the Myrtle Beach boys tennis program, and they have no problem being co-leaders of the engine that drives the Seahawk train down the tracks. But Patel remembers a time when his warm feelings toward Green weren't so friendly. "I used to not like Spencer at all," Patel said, turning over to Green with a smile. "I hated that he beat me in tennis." Green couldn't help but bask in leading the former rivalry when the two were young elementary school rivals. "Well, I'm glad to hear that wasn't a personal thing," Green fired back with a laugh. "But yeah, usually, I'd get you." Green, a junior who patrols Myrtle Beach's #1 court, and Patel, a senior who plays at #2 for the Seahawks, are the glue that keeps the Myrtle Beach lineup together. When trying to describe what a Myrtle Beach Seahawk should be, coaches for years to come will refer to the duo's respectful, hard-working and competitive nature as a shining example. Green and Patel will lead the way as Myrtle Beach races toward the 2025 state championship with a goal of hoisting a trophy. And as they prepare to embark on their postseason journey, they'll steer the ship with their chemistry and cohesiveness. Heartbreak in May. Green remembers his nerves kicking in at breakfast. Patel remembers feeling that something was just a bit off. May 4, 2024, was supposed to be a day that would go down in Myrtle Beach history forever. The Seahawks were in the Class 4A team state championship against Riverside, looking for their third straight state championship. The three-peat, as had been discussed throughout the spring of 2024, was just one victory away. But the morning of the match, something didn't feel as it had in the years prior. "I think we were more uneasy than we were in the first 2 years," Patel remembered of 2024's title match. "I don't think we felt like we really had anything locked up. I think the years before, we knew we had certain courts locked up, and we were almost going into the championship with a 2-0 lead. But last year was a weird feeling. That weird feeling would ultimately transition to heartbreak." Things unraveled. Despite opening up a 3-1 lead over Riverside and needing a win on just one more court to almost certainly have three-peat t-shirts sitting in their closets for the next 50 years. Patel had the opportunity to close out the victory for Myrtle Beach on his court, but some late struggles and a strong charge from his Riverside opponent forced a shocking late-match win for the Warriors, getting the overall match score to 3-2. Then, after dropping another singles match to knot things up at 3-3, momentum swung rather abruptly in Riverside's favor. Green and senior Nolan Cahill couldn't fend off Riverside's top doubles team. The finish of that final match was actually delayed almost 48 hours due to rain, dropping the finals in somewhat stunning fashion, 4-3. Green still recalls the feeling he had just before the final point that clinched Riverside's win, and says he remembers vividly, down to the sounds he heard, of Riverside rushing the court when the match was clinched. "Rough," Green described. "You just really couldn't get it out of your head. It was the biggest thing that had happened to us. We worked all off-season to get back there and to get back to that place. And to lose how we did, being 2 points away on 2 courts. Literally, if a few shots went the right way, we were three-peating and feeling like we were on top of the world. So, yeah. Rough. We just wanted it back. We wished we could have had just one redo." As is the case after championship losses, that redo never came. For Patel, the loss hit with a long-lasting sting. "We just wanted 10 more minutes back. Frustrated. Disappointed. It was just there," Patel said. "I'm not exaggerating when I say that even 3 or 4 months later, I thought about it for like 10 minutes a day. I thought, wow, that really happened. And even today, I'll just think about it randomly and I'll still dwell on it for a little while." After the loss, the Seahawks had a decision to make. Athletes have several roads to choose following a loss filled with heartbreak. And particularly as high school athletes, choosing the most fruitful and impactful road can be difficult. Fortunately for the Seahawk program, Green and Patel don't mind the difficult road. An off-season of reflection. If you were to jot down a list of things that Patel least likes doing, running would probably be close to the top of that list. He'll tell you that rather simply, I hate running. But the thoughts that followed in the days after Myrtle Beach's 2024 loss told the rising senior that he needed to find another gear. I felt like I needed to do it, Patel said of his new training routine. I think it was around October or November, I just thought let's start running. It was not fun. But, I'd think about it and I would just think, you lost last year. There's got to be something else. You've got to figure this out. And I know that I'm not playing a state championship running around, but I needed it. I just got so deep into thinking, you were so close last year. You won't be outworked. You aren't going to lose this time because you didn't work hard enough. The impact of the loss to Riverside had been felt. Last year definitely drove the last 10 months, he said. I feel like I did the most in the last 10 months than I ever have done for tennis, by far. I wouldn't have done things that I did this offseason without it. Green agrees, even taking it a step further. Standing across the court from Riverside ahead of the championship match's final point, Green felt the moment vividly. He remembers specific moments from the loss that have stuck with him into 2025. He remembers the nerves he felt as he started his backhand return following the serve. He remembers returning the ball into the net, sealing the Riverside win. He remembers watching the Warriors smile and celebrate with the team trophy, while the Seahawks sat and watched as state runners-up. Green isn't glad Myrtle Beach lost. But based upon his outlook going into the 2025 season, it's reasonable to say he wouldn't rewrite the way things shook out. Good things came out of that loss, the junior said. It put a chip on our shoulder. We know we are beatable. Before, I think people thought, oh, it's Myrtle Beach. They're just going to go out there and win. But, no. We have to show up, play and do what we have to do. It's made us work harder. Like Patel, it's driven his entire training routine since. It's always in the back of my mind now when I work out for tennis, Green said. I missed the last shot for them to rush the court. I remember them rushing that court, and I never want to have that feeling again. Now, it's having that feeling in the back of your mind every time you go to the gym, go run, go do tennis. Now, it's you're beatable. And it's time to get to that next level where you're not. Positive pressure. As Myrtle Beach wraps up the regular season, the team has competed with local dominance, as they usually do. The team will easily win the Beach region, and they will enter the postseason as one of the statewide favorites to return to May's state championship, now competing in Class 5A Division II, and take back what was taken from them 11 months ago. The Seahawks are in a prime position. Along with Green and Patel, brothers Caleb and Foster Cahill offer match-changing play on courts number 3 and number 4 respectively for the group. 7th graders Wyatt Anderson and Gage Van Wagner are emerging stars for the team, while others like Braxton Richardson and Kenneth Gunter continue to contribute. Myrtle Beach has talent flowing throughout their roster. And as those key contributors rack up wins and try to push the Seahawks deep into the state playoffs this year, they'll all be looking up at Green and Patel to direct the team's momentum. If friendship and on-court chemistry are any types of key contributing factors to success, Myrtle Beach is in good hands. On a recent spring evening on the night before a non-region match, the two sat next to each other to reflect on their journey and speak about the Myrtle Beach dynasty and their goals for the next month. Naturally, Green and Patel both carry a very jovial countenance and disposition. Fun permeates through the center of the Myrtle Beach culture, and neither are afraid to fire friendly jabs at each other. But when the time came to speak about each other, a switch rather abruptly flipped. Real emotion, meaningful, heartfelt and brotherly sentiments, took over. We've been together a long time, Patel said of Green. We know each other pretty well. We know what gets each other going. I feel like that chemistry between us is huge. I would say that Spencer has been the rock of our team for probably the last 3 or 4 years. There's not a time where he is out of anything. If I was looking over at him and he was down 6-3, 3-0, I'd think we were totally fine. We wouldn't have anything to worry about. He'd be fine. Listening to Patel speak, Green kept his head down, humbly and appreciatively. He then fired off praises of Patel. I know I can count on him. If I'm down, he's reaching out to me and encouraging me. Having a teammate like that, it helps me play better. I know his game like this, Green said, snapping his fingers. He knows my game to a T. I know what I need to say to him to get him back on track, and he knows what he needs to say to me. We know what's ahead. And we know the position we're going to be in. We aren't going to leave anything on the table. We're going to leave everything out there, and we don't want to have any regrets. As the two shared the friendship-filled moment of reflection, they started to steer the conversation into a meaningful tennis-specific tone, one that bubbled over with wise beyond their years' leadership. I think that's the thing, Patel interjected. No regrets. No regrets at all. Green agreed, yeah, no could have, would have, should have done this. And, we aren't fearing the moment, because that's what we have been training for this entire year. Is to feel this moment. So, we're going to embrace it. Obviously we wanted to win last year, but I think there's some good that came out of it. It gave us all a chip on our shoulder. Patel shook his head. I trust everyone on that court. I look right, I see Spencer. I look left, I see Caleb. I'm completely comfortable. Will the Seahawks find a way to make right on 2024's disappointment and find themselves atop the South Carolina high school tennis world again? Only time will tell. The team certainly hopes they will be playing in May 10's state championship clash, and they certainly hope they'll be the ones holding up a trophy to bring back to rest in the halls of Myrtle Beach High School for decades to come. But regardless of how this chapter will be written, both Green and Patel enter the state playoffs with a new perspective. With their connection heading the charge, the pair is eager to get back to the stage where they experienced heartbreak in 2024. I think the loss made us better people, Patel said of the loss. Myrtle Beach tennis in the last few years, we've been relatively successful. I think we did feel like we were on top of the world, especially in 2022 and 2023. I think as a team, I can say we were cocky in some ways. It was less of if we were going to win, but it was more of when. Now, we have to do everything in our power to win. We know this isn't going to be handed to us. This year is going to mean more than the last couple. A lot more. We lost what's ours. We want to get it back.